Hello, everyone. This is Tara from Tara. Let's talk about it. Oh, well, first off, I just want to say it's a good day because Lord Jesus knows I'm fighting my allergies, allergies. Lord, I don't know what you can do, but Lord, fix it. So excuse my voice. Excuse if I would a couple of times during this episode. Excuse me. Ooh, but I am here and I'm live and I am getting ready to have a great episode right now because my week has been very long because I'm in the middle of right now editing some things for this TikTok series that's getting ready, that is hopefully coming out probably soon. We're gonna pray on that. So God said, put yourself out there, and I did. I put myself out there, and I asked if I could edit the promo video, and I did. So you might be seeing that. Okay, so just look out for it. The day has been going pretty smooth. I've been in here writing. I've been in here trying to get my everything up for you guys. So I apologize if I have not been giving movie suggestions lately because I have been preparing for this and other things and other projects. Oh, but we are going to move on right now. I am going to introduce my guest that's going to be in right now with me tonight, and that's going to be with me, and we are going to be ping-ponging questions back and forth to someone who I'm pretty sure y'all know. And if you don't know her, you will by the end of this episode. Jonathan, Jonathan,
Oh, I'm here.
Jonathan.
I was listening as you were talking up your next guest, saying, you're gonna know her by this next episode, and she's so great. And then you say, Jonathan, listen, I mean, I'm all about diversity, but please, I identify as a he and him. Okay. I learned recently that that's a
Okay.
thing. I identify as he, him.
I absolutely am very excited that she's going to be on here tonight. And her name, if you don't know, because I haven't said it yet, but I'm getting ready to, Miss Briana Cole. Well, welcome, Brianna. Welcome. In
You.
case you don't know, I'm just gonna give a little bit more detail of the introduction. If you have not seen it yet, I suggest you get on board and see it. Don't be late for the party. Don't do that. Okay? She is the writer for what? What? Marriage Pass. I had to introduce it like that. She is the screenwriter for. She is the writer for Marriage Pass. It is streaming right now on Tubi. So please go check it out. And she has other movies that she has written. She's an author. She's also an actress.
Off the top of your head, can you give me an idea of how many films you have written and or produced? Just off the top of your head, let's
7.
say 10.
Many.
10.
7. I've written
7.
10 books, 7 films, either written and or produced, and I'm writing 4 more as we speak. Literally at the same time, 4 more.
You
and
have time
and
to sleep.
sorry, 7 films and a TV series.
Well,
I
tell us
lost
about
count.
what? Tell us about that TV series. I didn't know about that TV series.
Ooh, honey, child. Okay, so I was a staff writer on Lace, which is streaming on All Black. I was a staff writer on season 2, and I wrote 4 episodes for season 2 of Lace.
Oh, how did that come about? Did you just start? You just said, I want to write. You said, I actually looked at your bio online and it said you
Mhm.
started at an early age. How young? How young did you start?
Yeah, no, that's right. I've been writing like all my life. I started out as a reader of like a lot of authors that I know. I have been writing since I was like, I could pick up a pencil. I started with a typewriter, for goodness sake. It tells my age. And I used to
Sorry,
write
remind
short
me
stories
what is that? What is that thing that you just said? The what? You started with
with a
a
typewriter.
yeah, what is that?
Exactly. That tells you where I come from as far as my area, my era. But I moved on in from the typewriter. Then when they came out with computers and stuff, and then I had a floppy disk. I used to save my stories on a floppy disk. That yeah, we back now.
Ooh,
So
that's young girl. That's some
yeah,
early years. Ooh.
yeah, it really did. So I was writing, like I said, short stories. I started a greeting card business when I was in high school. I just knew I was going to be the next Mahogany and expressions and stuff. So I did start a greeting card business. And so what I would do in addition to the greeting cards, I would also do like framed. I would frame the poetry as well. Like I would put like a nice little watermark background. Let's say I did this for my family all the time. Like my mother, say it was her birthday or something, and I wrote a poem for her, for my mother, and then I would put like a watermark on a print a picture of like she and I, us in the background or her family in the background with her poem in the front, and I would have it framed and everything. Like I went all out. I really thought I was gonna have a whole greeting card, like for real. But the business was only like a year because I didn't know how to run a business. I was 15 years old. Like I
Mhm.
didn't know what I was doing. So I would just, like I said, write poetry and then I would sell the car. I would have my printer and print off the cards and the poems that I wrote and sell them to my friends and family and some of my family's coworkers and stuff. That's what I did for like a year.
You sold them. You made money at this.
Oh yeah.
Move on to
I'm
talking.
gonna ask a question, Tara. I'm gonna ask a question. All right. Because Tara, you're
Mhm.
an actress. You're an actress. You've written things, you've appeared in things. What I want to know is, do you, Tara, do you know what it takes to go from, hey, I've got this cool idea? Doesn't have to be a poem. It
Mhm.
could be anything like a screenplay, an idea for a story. Hey, I've got this cool idea and I want to turn it into a film, and then get that idea picked up by, I don't know, Tubi, which is a streaming service that just about everybody has in their home. We're talking what, hundreds of millions of people. I don't know. I don't know. But Briana, you sat down and you wrote something that you had this idea for. And fast forward a certain amount of time, and now it's in the living room, bedroom, on the phone of at least everybody in America has access to it. What I want to know is, how did you take that idea and turn it into something that is a dream come true? And here I'm going to be serious now. A dream come true for so many creative people. They feel like what you accomplished is a wall that they can never get over. And yet you got over that wall time after time after time. And I'm not done here, because don't you have, let's see, The Marriage Pass, Played and
Mm-hmm.
Betrayed,
Mm-hmm.
Dishonorable, Lace,
Mm-hmm.
is it
Mm-hmm.
Pseudo, Trap
Yeah.
Soldiers, Gutta Mommies? Look, I'm just reading this. Gutta
Mhm.
Mommies? How do you
No,
say
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I got a mom. He
Uh,
said.
ju- I don't even know how to say it, and yet you've sold it. 9, Thugs Cry. Then you've got The Perfect Love Storm, which is TBD, meaning you made it and you're just not sure when it's going to get out there, but it's going to get out there. And then you've got The Covenant, The Wives Play, Just One More Christmas. You have done the impossible multiple times. Briana, what can you tell the young people, the inexperienced, or maybe the motivated, or the experienced and the dreamers? What can you tell us that will help us achieve even 10% of what you have on your full-time schedule? I'm tuning in.
I think the most important thing that I would say any creative, when that's whether you are a screenwriter, an author, an actress, a rapper, artist, whatever the case may be. I think the important thing is the networking. I'm not going to lie to you. I personally did not understand the importance of networking, but there's so many talented individuals out there, but they just cannot get their stuff in front of the right people because they don't know or maybe not have access to the right people, but they're super talented, and so many things just kind of go by the wayside because you're trying to figure out how in the world can you build that network. And I don't just mean reaching out to people and kind of like a what's in it for me, like a hey, let me write for you, hey, let me be in your movie, hey, but I mean relationship building. That has been instrumental in helping me go further and further and further. You know why? Because I'm going to assume with a lot of us, if not all of us, the talent is already there. We got the talent. We take our classes, we teach ourselves, we do what we need to do to hone in and perfect our craft. So that's there. And I'm going to assume that's there for a lot of us. We're already, where we need to be, or at least growing in that to get where we're trying to be within our craft. So I'm not even going to focus on that part. Let's say that's where it needs to be. Now, how in the world do you get in front of some of these individuals? Like where do you even begin? And that's why I get on, and anybody that DMs me, I tell them the same thing. Start doing your research. Start reaching out to these individuals who are in these projects and where you want to be. I curated a lot of producer contacts by going to IMDb Pro, reading the credits. Those credits that people skip and walk out on? I'm reading the credits because I want to see who directed this, who
You're talking
produced
about the
this, who
names at the end of the film, all of the names?
yeah. You know why? Because if I do this every time. If I see a movie that comes out on Netflix, right? Or wherever, in theaters, wherever, I'm looking at the credits, or I'm researching, even if I can't see the credits, or I'm researching on IMDb Pro or just Google to see who is all attached to this project, cast and crew. It tells you everything from the lead actor all the way down to somebody has more of a smaller supporting role, and everybody in the cast and the crew, the writers, the producers, the directors, the makeup artists, the wardrobe people, the PAs,
Wardrobe
everybody
people. Mm-hmm.
it will tell you. And I am beginning to connect with these individuals on social media. I am beginning to get into some of these groups of like-minded individuals so that we can share information and we can bounce ideas off, and we are, going back and forth. And that's how I am beginning to build my network while I have my craft still writing, right? I got my writing going, but now I'm getting into the space of how can I get my writing in front of these people? Now I may be starting to pitch. I'm looking at other screenwriters, right? Other screenwriters who write on Bel Air, who write on Power, who write on some of these shows that I watch, right? And I'm going to see who is their team, who is their manager, who is their agent. What I'm looking to see, and that's how I'm branching out to get a list going of people to connect with. And I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, building with these individuals. And I say building relationships. Notice I keep saying that. I'm not just friending them and now I'm in their DMs. Hey, how can I? I am communicating with them, commenting on their posts. I am engaging with them to have that organic relationship. Raven Drummer is one of the main casting directors for Tyler Perry. For those that don't know. And Raven Drummer does a lot on social media when it comes to master classes and workshops and going on IG Live to give tips and tricks and things like that. If that is something that I know as an actress, for example, I would want to eventually get in front of her, well, you know what I'm doing? I'm getting my name in front of her. I'm sitting in her master classes. I'm going on her IG live. I'm engaging with her. Hey, Raven, I have a question. Things like that. Can you tell us more about? And I am doing that. And that way, now I'm starting to build that connection. So I did that a lot. And that has helped me because now I've got maybe one producer who may have passed on me, for example, because maybe the script is not a right fit. However, I know another producer who may be looking for something similar. Let me put you in contact with her. And that's how I was able to get on other projects as well. And then, like I said, one thing that Issa Rae mentioned, like I said, I follow our greats. I follow Quinta Brunson. I follow Issa Rae, Tyler Perry, of course, Jordan Peele. Like I'm following these individuals and I'm listening to their interviews and I'm taking these nuggets that they're giving and I'm applying these things. But one thing Issa Rae said that was instrumental in her success when she had Awkward Black Girl before it became Insecure was that she networked sideways, not up. She connected sideways. And that was able to help her, right, to connect with other individuals.
What do you mean sideways, not up? That sounds profound and valuable. What exactly does that look like? I know what you mean, but give me an example. What does that look like? Sideways, not up. Because most of the time what you hear is move up. If you're stuck for a while, reach up.
You're going to get there. Absolutely. But then we also have to understand there is a protocol. There's processes in place. And I'm not saying don't be ambitious, shoot for the stars. I am too. So I'm not saying don't do that, but don't negate the importance of your surrounding connections and your immediate connections as well. To you, for example, not you directly, but to someone, you may say, there's somebody who, an independent producer who may be working on their next film, right? They want to work on their first film or whatever. And I'm in the same social media group. I'm in the same Facebook group with this producer. But for some people, it's like, no, I'm shooting for Tyler Perry. I'm trying to reach out to Tyler Perry. And that's great too. Handle your business. But don't also negate or poo-poo on the importance of connecting with maybe that producer, because they could be instrumental in helping both of you all achieve your goals, and we go up together. Again, that connection. So that's why I say, like what Issa said, sideways, don't negate the importance of that while you are still reaching for the stars and ambitious, but don't just be so, as they say, like horses have blinders on, so hyper focused on
always, do not limit your options.
Tyler Perry. I'm not trying to. You may be selling yourself short and setting yourself up for a lot of disappointments when you could be working within your realm and going up little by little by little by little, taking those stepping stones to go up together. So sometimes you do have to go sideways to go up. You know what I mean? So
fun, and it's funny that you mentioned that too, because you said going for Tyler Perry. People focus on who they think is the biggest and who they think would cast you, no matter what, or they just aim for that one person or that one thing. Because when I did theater and I met this lady and she said, and I just so happened to mention Tyler Perry, and she said, don't chase. She said, don't chase after Tyler Perry. I chased after Tyler Perry for years. Sorry, Tyler. Chased after Tyler Perry for years, and his people didn't want me. Okay. So what you were saying is, I guess,
did you physically literally chase after him? Like, were you jogging? Yeah, exactly.
That was her metaphor. That she not literally. Look at me. I'm not running nowhere, honey.
No.
So I'm not chasing you. I'm not chasing you. No, but it's so important what you said, because you're basically saying don't beg, go ahead and shoot your shot out, and don't limit yourself to this one person.
That's
have options.
Have options, and don't and don't understand the importance of, sometimes some of those smaller stepping stones. You're trying to already get from level 1 to 10, or sometimes, let me go 1.5. Okay, 2. Okay, like prime example, of course, eventually I will, not I want to, I will have movies in theaters. I will have movies on Netflix and some of these cable networks. I will.
What is step number 1, regardless of where it goes? What is my first step? I've written it down. What do I do now? Go.
You've written this. Okay, let me even go back further, and then we'll lead up to that step. You have an idea, okay, and you're like, I don't even know where to begin. The first thing that I always tell people who want to write scripts is to read scripts. Read scripts, okay? Don't just watch movies. That's great. Watch movies all day long. TV shows, that's wonderful. But you need to know how to write a script, okay? Because that is before cameras turn on. That's before they cast the lead actor. That's before they attach it. You need a script. And you start by reading scripts so that you can begin to understand, right, how that relates on screen. Oftentimes what I do
So
is
what do you
I'll
think?
have a script.
We Google
You
scripts
can Google it.
that are similar
Google
to
it. That's what I'm
the
saying.
genre that we're writing.
Absolutely. Think of any, in fact, Oscar-winning movies that just won or were nominated for Oscars. What are they? Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Anatomy of a Fall, King Richard, let's go King Richard. Great movie, but it's called King Richard. And again, it's about basically how Venus and Serena Williams came to be, and their dad was Richard, and how he pushed these girls into being, tennis superstars. Great movie, nominated for an Oscar. I believe it won. But let me just take that, for example. You writing a movie similar, right, to a biopic or something kind of like that, same genre, that was an Oscar-winning or Oscar-nominated script, so it must have been good. So that's what you watch. That's what you like. Go on Google, right, or whatever your search engine is, Yahoo, Bing, whatever, Google, and type in
Let's
King
be
Richard
honest.
script.
Who's using Bing? Who's using Bing? If you're using Bing, then
I say Google,
I'm just saying.
Everybody may Google. I don't know. I'm a Google.
Who's going, you know what? That's a good question. Let me look that up. Bing.com.
Bing?
Right? Then you got more to worry
Bing.com.
about than what step
Listen,
number 1.5 is for your screenplay.
I'm about your age, Jonathan. So it's like, what is it? Ask Jeeves? Like, you going way back, like back in the.
Wasn't that the coolest? Wasn't that the coolest?
Exactly. So whatever your search engine is, whatever you can ask Jeeves, whatever, Google, Yahoo, but go and just type it in. So many websites that give you the option of being able to read and download scripts. Scriptlabs.com is one of them, but there are many.
Okay, so I've read the script. What do I do now? I read the script. Now what?
Okay.
Great script. What do I do?
You read the script. So now you need some screenwriting software, because you can't just put it in Word, right?
Why not?
You need
Why not?
That's not going to be formatted correctly. Start it the right way so you don't get in the make poor choices and poor habits and getting in the habit of doing something incorrectly. Go ahead in, because you know why? This is where you're trying to be. Go ahead and put those things in place now. Why wait? Go ahead, get it together. So if I'm telling you that screenwriting software is going to help you tremendously for getting your stuff formatted correctly, go ahead and invest in some screenwriting software. They even have free versions of screenwriting software. So I'm not saying you got to go pay. There's plenty of free versions. And if you don't know which one you want to use, Google or Bing screenwriting software. There's a bunch.
Or just ask Jeeves. Jeeves knows.
Jeeves knows. Siri knows. Even at this point, ask Siri. What's the screenwriting software? Celtic, Studio Binder, Writer's Duet, Final Draft, Fade In. There are a bunch. Okay, so you're going to pick the one that.
So that's what we do to write it. What about actually making sure that the story we're writing is worth it. Getting the story out there and understanding what makes a good story, what is
Mm-hmm.
what's worth writing down. Sometimes, in all seriousness, we feel like our story, our experience, our opinion isn't worth writing down. This idea isn't good enough to
Mm.
turn into that. And you are somebody that I don't think even comprehends that phrase, my idea isn't good enough. So I want to know,
No.
how do you go from idea to, okay, I know what software to use, but how do you put that in script form? Your characters are talking to each other. There's
Yeah.
a storyline
Okay.
there. There's a
Well,
story
then
arc.
that's
How do
a
you
good
do that?
Now that's a good thing, Jonathan. Before you even start writing the first fade in on your script, that is something you can bring up in Word and write your idea down and outline it, flesh it out. Get not the specifics unless you want to, but just to start. Tara and Jonathan, met in high school. They were high school sweethearts. They loved each other, and then Tara had to deal with, she
That
had to
would be
move
awful for
away, and
Tara, by the way.
but yeah, that is something that I do. I outline, I just write it out from beginning to
How
end,
do
as far
you
as so I
do
can
that?
know.
How do you
how do
outline?
I how do
How
I
do you
outline? Now
organize
that
those
I
thoughts?
organize those thoughts. First things first, get this is kind of what you were bringing up too, Jonathan. Getting the thoughts out of your head and somewhere on paper, because you're in your mind, they're just all jumbled up. I've seen all writers do it different ways. I've seen them put it on index cards and then shuffle the cards around. I've seen them like storyboarding. You know what I mean? I've seen writers do it. Whatever works for you. For me, I don't do all of that. I just write everything down from beginning to end in a Word document or on a sheet of paper if you feel like writing it by hand, but writing it down from beginning to end. Everything that I know needs to happen in order for this story to work. If I know that, for example, Jane and John, I'm using Mr. and Mrs. Smith, for example. If I know Jane and John are assassins and they need to, end up trying to kill each other, right? If that's the movie I'm writing, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, well, I know one of the scenes needs to be Jane and John need to meet. Okay, let me write that down. They need to meet. Okay, now they have to kill each other. Okay, well, I got to write some killing scenes. How are they going to kill each other? How are they going to try to do things like this? How is it going to end? These are the kind of things I'm asking
That's when you
myself
use
as I'm
incognito mode, by the way, on Google Drive. Like, use
brainstorming.
incognito
Yeah.
mode. They know,
Yeah. So
go. Y'all know what
Oh,
that's
that's
for. Come on.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
so things like that, help. But I can't tell another writer their process. You're going to have to do what works for you, because my process may not be your process. I know some screenwriters who don't outline. They just go right into it and get going. That works for them. More power to you. Me, I am one that likes to kind of have my thoughts a little organized, not a hard and fast, like, outline where I can't deviate from it, because I'm still creative, right? But I will have like a skeleton type of situation going on, so I know, like a little roadmap. So I know, okay, to get from A to C, I know I need B to happen. So I need
Mm-hmm.
to, you know what I mean? I may not know how they get to the altar just yet, but I do know, I may not know the specifics of how they're gonna meet. I don't know if it's gonna be at a restaurant or a library or at grandmama's house, but I do know they have to meet. So I'm gonna write that down. Jane and John meet. They fall in love. Like, you see what I'm saying? And as you begin to write, it'll kind of begin to take shape, because the characters, they'll begin to talk to you. That's when the magic
Yeah.
happens. When they
Yeah.
start talking
The,
to you, oh
the,
baby.
the,
Oh, it's on now. Like, that's that.
okay, that's all right. That's all right. We want to know the info. That's why we have you here. And I know you said when you write, that you have to present it in a way that the producers or Netflix or whatever, that they want to look at it, which is what I want to bring up. That is a perfect thing to bring up about. You must have things formatted in the same way. You want to look as professional as
Absolutely.
you can
You do.
before you send it in. I think that's the purpose of you saying doing it in that way and thinking the professionalism mind so that you can be able to maybe get picked up.
And
Thank you.
and you're going to do that. And like I said, I don't mean, you also have to realize that you are shooting for some of these same producers that I may be shooting for. And therefore, you may be competing with someone
Feeding.
like me
Mhm,
who is very familiar with formats and things like that. You
mhm,
don't want to look like an amateur. You want to look as professional as possible. You've done your research. I know what needs to happen. And once I put it out there, these people are busy. These people are busy.
mhm,
It's like, you know, and if you come out there not knowing what you're doing, it's like, you know what I'm saying, jumping in the pool and you ain't don't know how to swim, you ain't got no floaties. It's like, what are you
mhm,
put some floaties
mhm,
on, sweetie. Like, it's not
mhm,
trying to be funny, but you're gonna work your way up to, you know what I'm saying? So come out guns blazing, if you will. Come out swinging and ready. And I'm here. I know what I got going on. That's what's gonna make people stop and look at you. Even if, like I said, even if I had a producer, I had never pitched to. I pitched them, right? They
mhm,
passed on my script. It was not a good fit. However, they said, you are an amazing writer. We have something
mhm,
else we would like you to write. We have an idea that we would like you to write. And that was how I was able to get Played and Betrayed. That's how that came about, because they read this and they were like, you know what? The idea's great, you know, all of that. It's just not the right fit. That happens. But this girl can write. She can write her tail off. We like that. So we have an idea, a movie called Played and Betrayed, and we need a writer. Are you interested? And I was like, say less. Are you kidding? And they hired me on to write their
mm.
idea. So
Wow.
yeah,
Ooh, that's
that's how that
dynamic.
came up.
And I do want to ask you a question
Yes,
about the marriage path. And
yes.
even though Jonathan may not want to hear, I want to hear. I
What's
I
want to
want
that?
to
know
hear
because
all
I want
about
to.
it. I do. I do. I want to hear all about it.
No, no. I mean, I want to hear your idea on how you because we all know. I'm me being the writer myself. Sometimes our ideas may come from a personal experience, somebody we know, or we may have a connection
Are you trying to
to
ask
why
me
we
if
wrote
I've
what
done
we
a
wrote.
marriage past Tara?
Girl,
Is that what you're trying to ask? If I done a marriage past?
girl, it's getting spicy. We have to get some spicy questions up in
So
here.
listen, a lot of my stories. So Marriage Past is a book to film adaptation. I wrote the novella, which is a little bit longer than a short story of the Marriage Past back in December of 2016. At the time, it was called The Night Before Christmas, and I got the idea after watching the movie The Hall Pass with Owen Wilson, and it's a comedy, and it's about three couples, and they exchange a hall pass for like a week,
Mhm,
and everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Again, it's a comedy, funny, good movie. I enjoyed it. So I wanted to come up with an idea of something that was a little bit unconventional. I'm not a comedic writer at all. I'm more drama, scandal, thriller. I'm in that genre. And I
mhm.
took that idea
All
and
of
I said,
those I love.
Mhm. And I took the idea and I gave it to, put it with a couple, right? A black couple, and they exchanged a marriage pass for Christmas. Because again, at the time it was called The Night Before Christmas. And he uses it with his sister-in-law. And I just was like, oh, and here we go. Once the idea was there, then the characters started talking. The drama
Yes.
started drama in, honey. it
And
was
oh Lord.
it was like, think about what could go wrong. What in the world could happen with this type of scandal? And sometimes All you gotta do is just ask yourself, what if, and put these characters in some situations and watch that it kind of unfolds from there. And so the short story, or the novella, again, that was published in December 2016. It was picked up by a publisher of mine at the time, and then I fleshed it out, changed the name to The Marriage Past, changed some of the characters' names, and took out the Christmas element, made it an anniversary. And the book was published in February of 2021. And when the book was published, at the time, that was my fourth book, I believe, fourth or fifth book that was published. And that went super crazy, super trending, super viral, bestseller, all in the Shade Room, all in Sophisticates magazine, and just everywhere, because it was like insane. And I was happy because I was like, oh, they like it. And it was my agent at the time who said, you know what? I could see this as a movie, girl. And I was like, for real? So I sat down and started writing that script. And then by that time, I had grown even as a writer. So if you watch the movie and you read the book, you'll be able to see the differences, because it's a different medium. Writing books is different from writing movies. And it's one of those things where I really had a lot of fun with it and took these characters even deeper than when they was in the book. So that's that story. So I pitched it to the producer. They loved it. They bought it. And before the ink dried on the contract, they were already in Canada filming that thing. And I was like, oh, it's going to be on. And I didn't see any of the production process. I've done that before with other movies. With this one, I basically just sold the script. So I gave it to them. They paid me, they cut me a check, and they took it and handled their business. They did all the casting, locations, they post-production, the score with the music. They did all of that. And I just sat back, collected my money.
Collect it.
Okay. And when the movie released January the 20th, that was my first time seeing it too. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. And I saw it, and I could not have been more proud of how well it came together. Oh my God.
Be absolutely proud, because I did see the movie.
Yeah.
And when I know, I figured, well, I knew that you had written it, and I'm like, ooh, it's a lot of twists and turns up in here.
It's hey, baby. I just was a vessel. Them characters, they had a mind of their own, and it was so wonderful to see the actors take, like, it never gets old, hearing the actors. Well, Tara, being able to bring your words to life, and it started out words on a page, and they took it and they brought it. They brought depth to these characters. They brought them to life. And I couldn't have asked for it better if I had picked it myself. I was like, oh my.
I was going to ask you, do you have any hand in picking the caster? No. Oh, so
not
the casting director.
So there's two different ways that you could do this. And I've done both with some of my movies. Like, for example, Pseudo, right? I wrote Pseudo. I produced Pseudo. I put the money behind Pseudo. I found the production team. I found the director. I starred in Pseudo. I helped with getting this, help the music director get everything with the music, getting the distribution with Damon Dash, like the marketing. I had a hand in every piece of that movie. Why? Because it was my money.
So you say again, the producer, you said Damon Dash?
It's distributed through Damon Dash. Yes. So yeah. But I had to find him. Like, I had to go out and get his information, because I saw that he was interested in doing, again, networking and connecting with these people. Damon Dash was my friend on Instagram, and I saw he made a post about wanting to help independent filmmakers. Hello. And he was getting a distribution company going, and he was like soliciting for, if you have a movie that is ready, let me see it. And I was like, Mr. Dash, I got a movie that's ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was able to connect with him. And so in that case, yes, I had a hand in every step of that process. But like with the Marriage Past, I sold them. I sold the production company the script. So they paid me the money, and they handled all the production side. I didn't have anything to do with that. So Whether you want to sell scripts or whether you want a hand in all the production stuff, is going to depend a lot on, you know, which path you take. I've done both. I'm not gonna lie. I like writing scripts and getting my money and going on about my business, because while they were filming, I had moved on and was writing the next one. And then I sell it to them. Now I got my check. Now I'm writing the next one. Like, I'm writing for as we speak while they're filming one of mine in the UK as we speak. But I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm writing the next one. You see what I mean? So yeah.
What does make it, so what makes you a good writer? What makes you be able to write something down that can get picked up and put on Tubi, hello, and stream on
That's a
All
good
Black,
question.
hello, okay,
That's a good
okay.
I think
question.
it's because and I think for me, my superpower, and Tara, this you can definitely probably attest to this, is because I'm an actress as well. I come from a theater background, and this is allowing me to marry my two passions, my writing and my acting. I know I watch a good we watch movies. You know what's a good movie. You know when you hear wooden dialogue and it's like, people don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. You hear that. So I have been in front of the camera, and I think that has helped me a lot with taking that same knowledge, taking that set and production experience from being on camera, and now I'm applying it on the back end at the script stage, because it's going to make their job easy, because they look at it and it's reading cinematically. Like, I'm already, and everybody just likes an easy job, right? You know what I mean? So it just,
So to
I
be a
think
good
it's just,
screenwriter, would you recommend people who, let's say they're in high school, junior high, maybe they're 40 or 50, would you recommend they get involved or learn some level of acting so that they know how to
I
work and write with
think,
actors?
though it is not required, it can definitely help. I've even told other screenwriters that I've suggested like maybe some improv classes and things like that, so that they can hear and get familiar with authentic dialogue, because it's one thing that we're talking, right? But I'm not going to be writing all of this down. Say I was writing a script for this particular interview.
I'm
I'm not,
taking
everything that
copious notes. I'm writing down everything that
you're
we're saying.
writing it down. Right. But
I'm
it's like,
recording.
there you go. But it's certain things that, you know, it's like once you get in front of it and you can hear it out loud, that helps you. I've even had some of the movies that I have written and produced, I'm watching it on TV and I'm like, I probably should have written that a different way. I don't know if I like the way that was written. You know what I mean?
Stop
So,
it.
and
No, no,
like
I don't know.
mistakes,
Hold on. Briana Cole, you just said, I'm watching actors on television act my dialogue, and I'm saying,
and
I
I'm
don't know if
like,
I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? No, I
no,
don't know what you're saying because I've never had that, but I
no.
do want to know. I do want to know.
Um,
Okay. In order for you to say, I don't know if I believe that, that means you know the difference between good dialogue and maybe less than good dialogue. And maybe you only recognize it when you see it.
you know when you hear it, you know what poor conversation is. You have watched movies when you know the dialogue does not sound authentic, or the dialogue sounds too much exposition, because you're trying to explain to me as the audience like I'm dumb. I get it. You don't have to explain he's the killer. I get it. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things that comes when you are watching movies. If you, like I said, if you are trying to watch movies, if you're trying to write movies in a certain genre, watch movies in that genre. Watch good movies in that genre. Read the reviews, right? Critics, movie critics. Listen, read the script while watching the movie and see how it's coming across. These are the types of things that you're putting in your arsenal. So when you sit down, you know what? Because I've had to do it. I'm writing and I go back and I'm reading it out loud, or I have somebody read it out loud to me, and I'm like, people don't talk like that. We don't talk like that. We don't talk like that. So I want to make it come across more authentic, like real people. And to do that, listen to conversations. Go out to the
Bingo.
mall.
Number
Go
one,
out to a
good
restaurant.
writing Good writing is listen to conversations, not just your own, but you're talking about like
No.
snoop on other people.
Yeah. Oh, I do it all the time. All the time. All the time. I used to listen, and I used to, Jonathan, I used to carry around a notebook. And I'm not even joking. And now I have it on my phone. I have a notebook, a notepad on my phone that I use. But I used to carry around a physical spiral notebook and a pen. I'm talking, I'm 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm carrying around a notebook. And anytime I hear something that sets with me, I'm in there.
Mhm.
And my mom
Writer.
used to hate it. She used to say, I got to be careful what I say around her before I know I'm going to be in a book or something. I'm like, because I will.
That's
I sure
So
will.
you
And
were
it's not
prepared and ready. You were always ready. You got to be
don't
ready.
say nothing too crazy because I'm like, what
Mhm.
is
I could
Hold
turn
on.
this into a movie.
Okay, wait, he said, what? Girl, that's why I don't
so
spill no
so
tea
you
around
you
me,
feel like you were born with this. You feel like you're born with this. You're saying that even from a very young age, you knew a moment when you heard it.
You hear it. You'll know, like,
Hmm.
that did
Hmm.
not sound like, and it's one of those things where it's nothing the actor could have done. It's not the actor. It starts with the writing. Like they
Writing.
were giving
Hmm.
a bad script, or they were giving some lines that just does not sound like how people talk. Like,
Hmm.
it happens. And I mean, I've seen it whether it's a Tubi movie, a movie in theaters, a Netflix movie, a movie on cable TV. Everybody has less than their best when it comes to scripts. It's like you've seen books that may not have been written the best, and you've heard music that may not be the best. So it's just one of those things where when you hear it, you'll know, and it's like, okay, let me keep that in my mind and see what I can do. And I think, like I said, it helps to have people read it out loud. If you got two
Hmm.
characters arguing, I've done that. You got two characters arguing, I got kids. I'm gonna assign you one character, assign you to the other character. Y'all read these lines. Let me hear it. That don't people don't argue like that. That's not that people argue, they cut each other off, they talk on top of each other, they get flustered, that's what I'm looking for. That's what's gonna make it come across real on the page.
This is, by the way, like I think it's okay to say this, Tara. It's like your first or second show, right?
Well, I've had other shows, but this is like my second one with
Oh
somebody
wow.
who's
Of
famous.
this
Oh
show,
my
of
gosh.
this show. And that is
Thank
that
you.
Brianna,
Yeah, I was
she
excited.
was
I
so
was excited.
sh-
You're my very first one. And when I even told someone, I said, when she said yes, I cried
Oh
Mhm.
because
my
I don't think
god.
you realize impact that you had because I've written the A-listers. And of course they're not getting back to me. Of course, they so busy people. But I said she's like an A-list to me.
Oh
And
my
for her
god.
to even come right back and tell me, sure. Have you ever thought making a movie like a horror movie or a
A horror?
vampire or some
100%.
kid?
I have a horror.
Oh, you
100%.
have one.
And
And
in
you is
fact,
it
and I'm
out
not going to tell much.
already?
I'm not going to tell much about it because I submitted the script into Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions
Oh.
screenwriting competition.
Brianna, you're educating people, you're inspiring, shall I say, the younger black and brown and not white people who have these ideas. They write down these these stories or these things, or they draw pictures, they
Me.
sketch in their folders, and their teachers pull them away and say you're in trouble. And what you're I'm getting emotional. That was not expected, but what you're doing is you're proving you're proving that
There's a money.
creativity
There's space for us.
creativity is not a deficit. We remember, all of us, you, me, Tara, all of us remember what it feels like when someone tells you that you're not good enough and you'll never get somewhere. And we focus on that a
Hmm.
lot, right? Rise
Yeah.
above it, rise above it. But you know what we remember, I think, even more, what has a greater imprint on us, I think, is not when someone tells us that we're better than what we've heard, but when we prove it to ourselves. That imprints and motivates you for the rest of your life. And Briana, I think you are one of those tools that can be used to imprint young people to focus
Oh,
on what
wow.
they know they're supposed to do for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
How do I know that? How do I know that? You didn't just get lucky and have one film picked up. I'm looking at your website. I ran out of time with all the titles.
Yeah.
You figured something out. Or maybe you're just brilliant. Either, both, whatever. I want you to talk about, for a second or two, talk about not what it's like to be brilliant or how you came up with the idea. I want you to talk about A, what it felt like in the beginning when people told you couldn't do it and how you got through that. And then B, I want to know the exact steps you took to go from, okay, I did all of my step ones. I wrote it down because I listened to people. I did all of that stuff. Now I got this stack of paper and there's this app called TUBI. What's the bridge?
I think for me, my main catalyst that has made me, I've always been a hustler. I've always gone hard in the paint. I've always, like, that's always been me. Making sure that I go hard in every area of my life. And that is with whatever I do. I'm going to, like, I've always had that hustle because I feel like I've always had to prove something to myself because, and because I get gratification when I see the things that I set out to do come to pass. Like when I was an Essence Fest speaker, I was like, wow, that was an accomplishment of mine. When I saw my book on the bookshelf for the first time, I was like, wow, that's amazing. When I saw my name in the credits in a movie, I was like,
Mm,
oh my gosh, I'm making it. When I was in Times
you've
Square,
made it. Mhm.
when I saw my face in Times Square for Super Bowl weekend, I was like, wow. And I'm going to have many more wow moments when I win my first Oscar and my NAACP award. I'm going to have my wows and I'm going to keep having my
Oh
wows.
my
But I
God, I
do
am.
know,
Yes, yes, yes,
but
yes,
I
yes,
do
yes.
know that one thing that I try to share with others, that I adopt that even for myself. You don't know who you are
Woo.
inspiring. And like I said, I am humbly grateful, but I really am. But I don't do this to get, oh, I want y'all to boost me up and boost my head up and tell me I'm the greatest. And I don't do it for that. I do it because I love it. It's here. I do it because I can sleep at
Woo.
night knowing
Woo.
this is what I am
Oh,
supposed to do.
Brianna, if you can please answer, because this is Women's History Month. If you can please answer, what woman did, if you had a woman in your life that inspired you in any way, for you to go on and, be in the career that you are in, or if she inspired you in another way. And then after that, we are going to watch a trailer of the Marriage Pass.
Okay. All right. So 3 questions. I got them. So the first question is
Mm.
hard and fast steps. What do you do? You have your script, right? You have it written. Where do you go next? What are you needing to do? Who are you needing to connect with in order to, get your films on Tubi or whatever platform that looks like for you? That's a good fit for you. So some resources I'm going to give you that I have used, and this is the things that I tell other people. I mentioned connecting with producers and the credits and all that stuff in movies. I did talk about that, right? And you're able to Google and go on IMDb Pro in order to
Mm-hmm.
find the crew and things like that, in order to reach out and find the contact information for some of these producers. Not every producer is going to accept unsolicited material, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. You can still pitch producers, meaning emailing a query letter where you pitch your project, pitch yourself and ask that producer, hey, would you be interested in reading more? I have a full script for you. Let me know. So you can still do that with pitching producers. You're going to copyright your script. Absolutely. Copyright.gov. Copyright your script because you're going to be sending it out. Don't be afraid that somebody is going to steal my idea. You're going to have to send it out if you want to get it made. So as long as you protect yourself, you're going to be fine. So you're going to copyright your script. Start finding and curating a list of producers and industry professionals, whether that's other actors, whether that's directors, all industry professionals. And again, you're going to find this information in credits of movies that are in your genre on
That's why you
Google.
said it's important to stay for those credits.
Pay for those credits. But you know
Stay
what?
for
Even if you don't, I don't just mean on Marvel movies because you gotta wait for the end credits. But even if you don't stay for the credits, again, that information, just Google the movie. You'll be able to find some other resources that I say. Screenwriting competitions are amazing. You can go on Film Freeway in order to find Film Freeway and Coverfly.com are two great resources to find screenwriting competitions and labs and mentorships and different fellowships.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Coverfly, Coverfly, one word, coverfly.com and filmfreeway.com. Both of those are reputable platforms that have a list of competitions and festivals and labs and mentorships and fellowships and things like that you can begin to submit to. You may want to submit to some screenwriting competitions. You know why? Because you do your research and you see, hey, this competition is looking for dramas or they're looking for sci-fi or fantasy. I have that. Hey, look, some of the judges on the panel are industry professionals at this management company or this agency or this production company that would get me the exposure that I need. You may want to submit to those types of competitions and fellowships and stuff like that. Again, this is part of you networking, right?
Networking.
Buzzword for the day. And so, like I said, you're also still pitching industry professionals because that, again, is how I was able to get my name circulating around at TUBI. I didn't go Google TUBI, who owns TUBI. I went to look at the production companies that have movies on TUBI. That is what I'm looking for. You know why? Because those are the ones that are producing the movies and they're able to get it on these platforms. So if you start using some of that knowledge in order to network, pitch, getting your list together of industry professionals, thinking about fellowships, competitions, and things like that, social media groups, connecting with these folks on social media, you'll begin to get circulating and getting a list of contact information and people who know people who know people who may be able to help put you in some of these rooms to have some of these opportunities come your way. So those are some other websites I'm going to give that are amazing in order for, to network and find
pad and your
industry
pencils, y'all.
Yeah, these are resources I'm giving you. I told you coverfly.com. I told you filmfreeway.com. Something else that's good, and you know this one, Tara, actorsaccess.com. And you are looking at it from my acting girl standpoint. You're looking at the breakdowns. I'm going in to look at it, right? To see in the breakdowns, who's the writer, who's the producer, who's the casting director. I'm looking at who is attached to some of these films and projects that are coming out. You know why? Because remember, I'm getting my list together. I'm getting my resources. Some other amazing websites that are reputable and I stand behind because they have worked for me. Stage 32 is good. Blacklist is good. Virtual Pitch Fest is good. Screenwriting Staffing is good, because these are lists of resources that can help you become a better writer, network with other writers, and list industry professionals and opportunities. Like, prime example, on screenwriting staffing, it tells you, hey, we are looking for a sci-fi script, right, with a budget of less than $1 million. If you have this, reach out to me. And I'm like, oh, I got a sci-fi script. Or you can also use that as a good benchmark if you are stuck. So let me give the rundown of those websites, these resources. So after you write the script, the first thing, of course, you need to copyright it, copyright.gov. You need to protect it. And the websites that I gave are like coverfly.com, filmfreeway.com, in order to find competitions, screenwriting competitions, mentorships, fellowships, labs, things like that that you can submit to. I also said that some other good things are IMDb Pro, and using that in order to find who is attached to certain projects, movies, and TV shows and things like that, because you will be able to find the contact information for some of these producers, for some of these directors and stuff like that. So that way you can pitch to them. So if you get the email of a production company that produced a movie in your genre, then I'm going to submit a pitch to that email and introduce myself, not send them my script because it's unsolicited, but I am going to reach out and introduce myself, let them know what I have, and that here we go. So that's cold querying. You find that information. Some other good websites I also said is Actors Access, because not only am I using that from a acting standpoint, but I'm using that because in the breakdowns, when you go on Actors Access to see what projects they're casting for, they give you the writer, they give you the producer, the director, the casting director, things like that. So again, that's more information. Those are contacts that you can Google and see what's going on with them, connecting with them on social media.
I did actually go on the Actor Access. I went on your Actors Access because I saw it on your site that you have, and I saw that, and I found out something too about you, Miss Briana.
What?
I found out that you were in episodes of Fatal Attraction.
I was. I was in a few. My main one, girl, I've been Fatal Attraction, Snap for my man, girl. True crime is that's my jam.
Yes.
And so I was in an episode of Fatal Attraction, season 8, episode 2, Left for Dead. I played Tracy Anderson, and ooh, that was intense. That was intense, but good experience for sure. And I was honored to tell her story, and what happened with her.
But to get prepared for that role? What did you do? She's also an actress, in case y'all didn't know.
Listen, with Fatal Attraction, I put like this: I watch a lot of true crime, so like I said, that to me was I already know how Fatal Attraction that I watch it all the time. So when I submitted to that casting director, posted on Actors Access actually, and they were looking for individuals, and they do like photo looks to see if you look like the characters. It's true crime reenactment.
On Actors Access, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to look like the character. And this is what I'm telling you about knowing and being familiar with who is producing and who is in charge of these types of projects that you want to do. I can tell you right now, Jupiter Entertainment, they are the ones who produce true crime reenactment, like Fatal Attraction, Snap for my man, ATL Homicide, so Google Jupiter Entertainment, see what's going on with them. But if you're interested in writing for them or be true crime reenactment or kind of getting in that space, in that world, they have Jupiter Entertainment. But anyway, Actors Access, they put up the pictures to say, hey, if you look like these characters, let us know. I submitted because when I saw the picture they had up of Tracy Anderson, I kind of was like, I kind of favor her. I mean, it's not like a twin thing, but with true crime reenactment, that's what it is. It's a reenactment. Just favor the person.
Yeah.
So I looked at her picture and I was like, kind of favor her. Okay. Submitted my picture. They reached back out. They wanted me to submit my demo, my resume and stuff to kind of see what experience I had, if any. Not always a requirement, but sometimes they'll ask for it. I gave them that, and they reached back out and they were like, "Yeah, booked. Let's do this. Can you come up to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we can film for about a week?" And I was like, "Don't threaten me with a good time. Like,
They
I am
put you up
here."
and everything. Did they put you up in the? Did,
They paid me per day. They paid for my travel. They put me up in a hotel. And I think I was up in Knoxville for 4 days. I want to say it was 4 days filming that one episode. And oh man, it was intense because if you're familiar with that, well, it's true crime, but this young lady had she was stabbed numerous times while being 9 months pregnant by her boyfriend. So I had to have a fake belly, the blood, the whole, like it really was a reenactment. The fight over the knife, like it was I had a prop gun because I had, the weapons, the stunt coordinator. It was
Oh, a stunt coordinator too.
the
Oh,
stunt
wow.
coordinator. It's like they for real. Like it's not play. It's for real. And it's like, you want to do it justice and do what you had to do. So yeah, I did that and it was great. And like I said, it was a great opportunity to meet other actors. Like we all had again, the material was of course intense, but it was wonderful being on set with other actors and crew and just watching all the magic happen, like it's
You
always
are a
good.
force. You are a force to be reckoned with. Yes, you
Thank
are.
you.
A woman of
So
many trade.
listen,
Many
I
trade.
mean,
Yes, you are.
so yeah, that was that. I'm sorry. What were we talking about before we got off on that tangent, girl? I'm all over. Go
That's all
ahead.
right. Hey, look, I love it. It's like we just having a conversation. That's into it. I
Uh,
love it. What woman, if you did have a woman in your life that inspired you, because we know that this is women's history, women's history month.
my mother. My mother, no question. My mother has always, of course, I have many, many women in my life, like my grandmothers, my sister, my aunts. I have a lot of positive role models and strong Black female figures in my life. So many. It's really hard to even just select one because as a group, they all have poured into me, But if I had to scale it to just one woman for the sake of answering that question, I would have to say my mother. Like she has been, there from the beginning, supportive. She was the one where I was trying to find myself and I'm back there thinking, hey, I can model and hey, I want to act. And she right up there like, okay, well, let me Google and see what we need to do to get you in a modeling
I know
school.
that's right, Mama. I
Barbara's
know.
and
I
like,
know.
so
Yes.
she's been right there, like, okay, what my baby want to do. I told my mom, I was like, girl, I'm gonna go to school and I'm a major in creative writing. And she was like, okay. And I'm like, what we doing? Like, you going to school and you gonna major in writing? Okay. And I'm like, no,
Right.
you're writing? And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, it's gonna work. And so she was like, okay, so now we can look back and laugh. And I'm like, Ma, I told you it was gonna work, girl. And she was like, oh. I believed in you from the beginning, and she has. She always has. So yeah, for sure, my mother.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, right now we're getting ready to watch the trailer, The Marriage Past Briana. Is written by Briana. Briana, thank you for being here. Can you tell us what this is about, please?
Yes. So The Marriage Past, this is a movie that I wrote based on my book of the same name that was published originally in 2016, then republished in 2021. And this is about a couple who exchange a marriage pass for their anniversary, and the husband uses it with his wife's sister. And it's a thriller and a lot of scandal that comes because of that.
The
I
marriage pass.
vow to cherish and accept you for all that you are and will become.
I promise to cherish you all the days of our lives. You have helped me become the person that I am today. You ever felt like your husband doesn't love you anymore?
Hey, stranger.
Shantae never told me you were back in town.
I don't need my sister's permission to visit.
I've accepted more than I should because I love him.
Have you ever thought of trying something to spice things up?
You ready for your surprise? One night out to do whatever you want with whomever you want. No questions asked, no strings attached.
Shantae gave me a night free from marriage. I want you.
The forbidden fruit's always the sweetest. Who was Mrs. Graham doing last night?
Have fun.
One pass, that's it. Now it's over, right?
Sure.
Last night was just a one-time thing.
So what's one more?
Who is that?
You can't ask me that. We had rules. We trust each other, right?
You seem upset. Did I do something?
Have you been seeing my wife?
Who is she? I thought you loved me.
You think I did this?
Ooh.
As a TUBI original, and baby, it is crazy.
Crazy,
plot
Stacey.
twist for
Ooh.
days.
I did not expect the ending. And this is, matter of fact, this is how we ended up linking up.
Yes.
She's on a group on Facebook for actors, and she just so happened, I'm not kidding you, I have a TikTok, and I said, I need to do another movie suggestion. And that same day, the same day that I saw your comment, right before that, I said, okay, the marriage passed on too, because I do TUBI movie
Okay.
suggestions.
Yeah.
TUBI to
See?
get people
Listen,
to see.
Sarah,
Listen,
what
it's
did
some great
we
movies
just
on
say?
here.
This we were in. What did I keep saying? I was like connecting with others and groups and stuff.
Yes.
You don't know who is
Mhm.
out there watching and who you can connect with. That's how we connected. So 100%. So
Mhm.
if you Google Briana Cole, I promise you I come up. But you can go on my website, brianacole.com. I am very active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Briana Cole Official, and even on TikTok at BriCole3. But like I said, you could just Google Briana Cole. I'll come up, my books come up, my movies come up, and then of course my website, brianacole.com, is my hub. You'll see everything, all things Briana Cole, what I'm working on, what I'm doing, and my social media pages are on there as well.
And also, do you have any up and coming projects that are coming up? Anything you want to mention that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, I am under NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't tell the name
Man,
until the producers
It's
release
the
it.
next
But as I
Marvel
said,
movie.
I
It's
am
the next Marvel movie. She's writing the next
Listen,
Marvel movie. I'm telling you right now. I'm
it
telling you
is.
right now. Yep.
listen,
Mhm.
don't gas
It
me up.
is.
Listen, but no, I'm super excited. Like I said, I did submit. Like I said, the stuff that I've shared is stuff that I do, stuff that I apply, stuff that I implement. So just like I mentioned about connecting with industry professionals, seeing what they have going on in fellowships and labs and mentorships. That's what I did. I submitted a script of mine to Jordan Peele's, of course, the Jordan Peele, absolutely. His Monkey Paw Productions. They have a screenwriting competition that it ended. I want to say it was open for the month of February. So they're going to be going through making selections, and we'll see if I get into become a finalist in that competition. But you know what? Even if I'm not a finalist, just the fact that somebody at Monkey Paw Productions is reading my stuff is
Oh,
already like, oh my gosh,
you
so you don't
already
know what
made
to
it,
come from that, right? You don't know
even
what to come
before
from
the
Can
end.
we, the public,
with that.
vote for you? Can we, the public, log on somewhere and say, hey, pick
I
her.
would,
We
I
like
would love
this. Can
that.
we do that?
If so, let me see what they're talking about when this is their first year doing it. So when they kind of get everything together, I'm of course going to share. And if the public can vote on stuff, I'm going to drop links everywhere and be like, go vote for me. And then, like I said, I do have 4 additional scripts that I am writing at this time. They're going to be
Only 4.
I know
They're only 4 at the same time, right? At the same time.
at the same
You're writing all 4 at
time.
the
Like
same
I'm
time.
literally about to go off, eat me some dinner, and I'm going to be probably pulling an all-nighter to get one script done because I'm almost done. So yeah, your girl stays busy. You got to though.
Hey, look, of course you do. Look at what you're putting out. Of course you stay busy. Thank
you know what?
you.
They say, Tara and y'all, Jonathan, y'all both have heard this. They say, you can't be mad when your plate's full when you ask to eat or something like that, right? This is the stuff that I've prayed for. This is the stuff that I asked for. So I can't get mad that I got opportunities that I've asked for. So here I am.
Yes, and when it comes, he's gonna have it come. It come. Blessings upon blessings.
Yeah.
Well, Briana, I will really want to keep in touch.
We are.
You got my number, and I will also keep in touch with you, even if it's through Messenger, because I want to have you back on the show. Please. Thank you again. Bye.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much. I'm honored. Thank you.
Hey y'all, it's Tara from Tara Let's Talk About It. Thank you for joining me for my show. There's more to come. Make sure you tune in next time. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Tara L. Williams 714, on my TikTok at Tara L. Williams 4, and right here on my YouTube channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment, okay? Bye.